Hey guys, Sean C. Phillips here with our brand new DVD Blu-ray Tuesday shopping video. Today gonna go out today, see if things came out today, see if things are on sale. Now today though, new release-wise though, some of the bigger things that are coming out is the film Soul, as well as News of the World, and Gattaca comes out for the first time on 4K in a Steelbook that Best Buy has. And also though, at the end of this video is gonna be a whole bunch of brand new DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K reviews for some really cool things I received to review and talk about for you guys. So definitely stay tuned for those at the end of this video. And as always too, let me know what you guys thought of the DVDs, Blu-rays, and 4Ks that are reviewed, if you guys have seen them, what you guys thought of them, and also if you guys plan on picking any of them up. Now, I know a lot of you guys are wondering though, why am I in, not in the car, and why am I in my, DVD Blu-ray room and everything seems a little different. Well, honestly, right now, I'm actually, when you're seeing this video, for the whole week, I'm currently in Las Vegas shooting a Night of the Zomghouls. So that's why there's no video of me actually going to the stores today, because I'm in Vegas shooting. So literally right now, I'm at like a arcade kind of like Chuck E. Cheese type place shooting. So that's what's going on right now, literally this exact second you're seeing this video. But I wanted to put a video up, and I have some really, really cool stuff to review. But what we're going to do is we're going to change it all up, and we're just going to go upstairs, and then we're going to look on the computer, and then look through Blu-ray.com. We're going to look on the websites and stuff, and look at like Walmart and see the prices of things and all that kind of stuff, to see what all the stuff that are releasing. So now though, we're going to head upstairs, and like I said, we're doing a little differently today, but now go upstairs. So to my bedroom we go. Into my bedroom we go. And when it comes to new releases that are coming out, I usually look on two different sites. I look on Blu-ray.com, and I also look on the digitalbits.com. Digital Bits was the one that I found out about first. I remember even being back in high school back in the day, and like looking up stuff that was coming out on DVD and stuff like that. But as you can see, this is the week before, past couple weeks. Yeah, this is the week before here. But then you look on here. So let's see, for this week, we have Event Horizon. So that's one of the other ones today, and I feel like they might have that in Best Buy. Sometimes that they do. Gattaca, the 4K, released today. Which for some reason I think that the Steelbook is a Best Buy exclusive, I believe, and I'm not sure though if it is or not. It doesn't say. Yeah, so I think I said at the beginning that it was a Steelbook exclusive for Best Buy, and I don't think that it is. Let's see. The other one's Godzilla, Batman v Superman, the 4K editions, and there is a Best Buy Steelbook of Godzilla today as well. And that one, yeah, so Best Buy Steelbook here. Let's see a closer look at that one. So a little closer look here at the Best Buy Steelbook for Godzilla. Let's see, the other ones on here, Raw releases today. That one won't be in stores, at least not in the main stores. Let's see. It's different. Every time I do something different like this, it throws me off a little bit, because I'm not used to doing the videos this way. Let's see. And then Best Buy's going to have a Soul Steelbook here as well for that one. So it's a Best Buy exclusive Soul Steelbook. And next Tuesday, though, too, I'll look and see what stuff is and show the stuff better next week. Like I was saying, Soul, and then, these are ones from Vinegar Syndrome, Rush Week, and Last Gasp. News of the World, which is one I have not seen yet. If you guys have seen that one, though, let me know how News of the World was. I'm definitely interested in that one. And then there's going to be a Steelbook for Friday the 13th, Part 2. The Undoing also releases today. And this one I feel like will probably be in, probably would have that in Target and Best Buy. But I feel like Target would probably have it. And there's also going to be an exclusive Soul 4K edition here, too, which is like a book version of it. This is a Target exclusive version. It's the one that has so a gallery book is included in there with that one. So that's cool. So there's definitely a lot of different exclusive releases for that one. And then breaking news in, Yuba County is the other one. And I'll be talking about that one at the end of this video. That was a really fun movie. I really like that one. Also, Cosmoball, that releases today. And the one here called The Reunion. So I think those are the main bigger ones today, and the main ones that I think you'd see in stores. Like I said, not all these ones you're going to see in stores, but a lot of these ones, like I said, the main ones, News of the World, Soul, those are the main ones you'll see. I feel like you're going to see Gattaca out there as well. But now, though, we're going to head to, let's look on Target's website and see if we can see the prices for some of these things. And taking a look here, though, on Target's weekly ad at the new releases and everything, like I was saying, they have the Target exclusive here of Soul, which is a 4K Ultra HD edition here, and which has the gallery book, and that one is $34.99 for that edition. Also, though, they're going to have News of the World and the Blu-ray. They're also going to have the DVD available, and that one is $22.99 for the Blu-ray. And as I was saying, I thought they were going to have this one, the Undoing limited series, and it's $22.99 for the Blu-ray, and they're also going to have a DVD available. The other one here is a book, and I think this is a CD and everything. And I also want to let you guys know that as of right now, there's only a few days left on the campaign for the very first feature film that I'm going to be directing called Scream Bloody Murder, which is a 90s style slasher film. It's a throwback style slasher film in the style of Scream, and I Know What You Did Last Summer. This is one that I am so excited about. Like I was saying, there's only a couple days left in the campaign, and I want to say, though, thanks so much for those of you guys, though, who have been sharing the campaign, and those of you guys who have helped out in the campaign and all that kind of stuff. I appreciate it so much, and I'm just really excited to get to do this movie. And like I said, though, there's only a few days left on there, so if you guys would like to go on the campaign, you guys can go on there, and there's like producer perks. You guys can go on there and pre-order a copy of the film on Blu-ray. So there's all kinds of stuff, ways that you guys can help, or you guys can just share the campaign around on your Facebook and social media and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, though, guys, like I said, thanks so much for all the help, and thanks so much for all the support in the film. I'm just really excited to get to do this movie. So like I said, definitely check out the link below, and you guys can find out all about the film. Like I said, only a few days left if you guys would like to help out in the film and get a Blu-ray or any of that kind of stuff. But now, though, let's check on Walmart's site and see what we can see for the new releases. And checking on Walmart's website, you never can know for sure if they're going to have it in stores, because as of right now it says pickup not available. That's just because, it's not, I'm doing this video on Fridays when I'm shooting this, Friday, the 19th, so you couldn't pick it up yet. But I'm not sure if this is going to be, I'm pretty sure it will be available in stores, but the price online, though, is going to be $22.96 for that one for News of the World. But let's look up Soul and see, too, because I know, there probably will be a, edition of that one at Walmart, because they usually have their own editions. It doesn't show anything, though. Let's see, Walmart 4K, and it says pickup not available. So yeah, I'm sure they're going to have that, though, but I don't see any exclusive one. I guess maybe they're not going to have one. They sometimes do, not always, though. But it's going to be $29.96 for the 4K edition of Soul, and then it's going to be it's going to be $24.96 for the Blu-ray of that one. Let's see some of the other ones. Let's see, what would other one? I looked up News of the World already. So I think those are the main ones. I guess we could see what the Undoing costs on there, too. Because that's one of the other ones I think that would be in there. I'm pretty sure they would have that. Let's see, the Undoing. I'm probably spelling it wrong. Undoing Blu-ray. Blu-ray. Yeah, I'm spelling it really wrong. Let's see. Undo. How am I? Yeah, here it is. $23.99 for the Blu-ray of that one. So yeah, I think those are the main things on here that I think that they would have. And checking a look here on Best Buy's website, here's a look, though, at the Soul Steelbook here, the Best Buy exclusive Steelbook. And then that one here, for that one, that's $34.99. I have a feeling, though, this one is going to sell out, really fast. And then the standard 4K is $29.99. Then it's $24.99 for the Blu-ray edition. Let's see, though, News of the World, how much that one was. News of the World. Yeah, when I tried to do the weekly ad, it wasn't on there yet for all the stuff, so I couldn't see the pictures or anything that yet. So then the 4K of News of the World is $27.99 for the 4K edition, then it's $22.99 for the Blu-ray edition, and then $22.99 for the DVD. So same price for the Blu-ray and the DVD. And let's look at the Gattaca one. Gattaca. I'm spelling everything really wrong. So let's see. Here's how you spell it. So Gattaca, the Steelbook edition, that one is $27.99 for that one. So I believe that's the main ones. But if you guys, like I said, in the comments below, though, let me know if you guys went to, Best Buy, Target, Walmart. Let me know some of the things that you guys saw, some of the prices you saw for them too, just so I make sure I have everything, right, or anything that I missed. Like anything interesting you saw at Walmart that maybe I missed over or anything like that. So anyway though guys, that was all for my DVD Blu-ray Tuesday shopping video today, and like I always say, if you guys enjoy these shopping videos, definitely give this video a thumbs up. Also, leave me comments below and let me know, what you guys have picked up on DVD, Blu-ray, or 4K, if you guys ended up picking up anything new today. Also, be sure as well to let me know anything new that you guys have been watching on streaming, any new TV shows or any new movies you guys have checked out or anything like that as well. And also too, like I said, there's only a couple days left on the campaign for the very first ever slasher film that I'm directing, first ever slasher feature film I'm directing called Scream Bloody Murder. So like I said, the link will be below if you guys would like to pre-order a Blu-ray copy or anything like that of the film. Like I said, I am so excited about this movie, and thanks again for you guys who have been, helping the project and supporting and everything. So like I said, we're down to the final few days on the campaign. So like I said, really excited about this one. But anyway though guys, thanks so much for watching and subscribing. Now stay tuned for the brand new reviews. And the first one I got here is from Shout Factory's Scream Factory line. It's a movie here called Rent-A-Pal. This one stars Brendan Landis Folkins and Will Wheaton. This one, though, I absolutely love this movie. This one is an absolute top recommendation. This is one you guys have got to check out. It's basically, though, about this, this is set in 1990, and it's about this guy who's, like, really kind of sad, depressed. He lives with his mother, and he kind of goes... And he's trying to, go on dates and trying to, meet a woman and everything. And, well, he has no luck in real life and stuff. So he starts doing these things where you go and, they give you videotapes of potential people that you could date, and you watch these videotapes, and if you think that you like the person, you write down a piece of paper, oh, I would like to go out with this person. Then you have to see if that person, agrees and they want to go out with you and stuff like that. So it's like this online, not online, but like video dating type of thing. This is, before the internet and that kind of stuff. So it was all done video rental, people would rent these tapes and video. It was an interesting way of doing dating, but I remember hearing about that back in the day. And also, though, basically, though, he has no luck, and he's not having any luck with it. But when he's there with these video dates, but in the place where he would go to pick up the tapes, he sees in the bargain bin, there's this thing that says Rent-A-Pal. And it's basically this, Will Wheaton's character on the cover, and it's like this guy, and basically he gets this tape and buys it. And he puts it in, and it's basically just, Will Wheaton's character sitting in front of the TV going, oh, hi, great to meet you. What's your name? And he's saying all this stuff. And basically, though, the guy becomes obsessed with this tape and starts to, live his life by this whole thing and becoming, obsessed with it. And it's there's just something really off about this tape that he's watching. It was a really, really good movie. That's all I want to say about this, but definitely really great movie. I thought Will Wheaton, too, did a really great job in here. He played, really creepy the way he was playing this character. Everybody was great. Brendan Landis Folkins was really, really good in here. I thought he did a great job in this movie. This one has on here, though, feature-wise, it has the making of Rent-A-Pal. It has a featurette, two different featurettes on here, as well as the theatrical trailer. But like I said, this is one definitely would recommend you guys check out. The next one here, this is from Shout Factory, and this is from the G Kids line here, and this is a new Studio Ghibli film here called Earwig and the Witch here. And this one, it's interesting because Studio Ghibli has always been hand drawn, animation, classic drawing, the way it's done. But now with the new one here, it's done computer animated, and it's really it still has the same look to the characters and everything. It's different and everything, but it still definitely has the same style. You can tell that it's a Studio Ghibli film, but done, as, CGI animation as opposed to hand-drawn. I don't know if they do full hand-drawn anymore, or they do it in the computer to look hand-drawn. I'm not totally sure if now they do it that way or not. But basically, though, it's about this girl who ends up, getting in the orphanage, and she ends up getting adopted by these witches. And basically, she's basically there to kind of learn to be a witch, to kind of help her and apprentice her and stuff like that. That's essentially what it is. But it was a fun movie here. But this one has on here, though, feature-wise, it has feature-length storyboards, creating the, Earwig and the Witch featurette, interview with the Japanese voice cast. Yeah, and also on here, too, it has the English language version as well as the Japanese language version on here as well. Now, the next one here, this is from Warner Brothers. They sent over a free copy of this one to let you guys know that this one is available. And this one here, I really like this movie. This is one here which has a great cast in here. It has Allison, Janney, Mila Kunis, Awkwafina, Wanda Sykes, Juliette Lewis, Samora Wiley, Regina Hall. So I really love the cast in this one. Awkwafina is great in here, but Wanda Sykes, she steals the show in this movie. She's always great, but she really steals the show in this movie to me. But it's basically, though, about Allison Janney's character, who, her husband is played by, I can't remember who was playing her husband in here. Was it, trying to remember who was the husband in here. I totally, no, Matthew Modine was playing the husband. But basically, though, she believes, she kind of is you know, she follows her husband one day, and like her husband, you know, is like cheating on her and stuff like that. And he, you know, of course, she doesn't know about this, but she follows him one day, and it's like her birthday, Allison Janney's character's birthday, and he sees her like taking flowers to a hotel room. He's like, oh, he's gonna rent this hotel room for us for later and everything. Of course, she goes in there, you know, goes and then sees that he's in there with another woman, and basically though she breaks, you know, gets a key to go inside. She goes to the front desk and says, oh, my husband's in there. I need to get the key. And the woman's like, oh, okay. And of course she goes in, and then Matthew Modine's character has a heart attack, and it becomes the whole big thing. And then the girlfriend there that's, you know, that she's cheating on her, you know, her Allison Janney with, and he's cheating on Allison Janney with, is in there, and it's like this whole awkward thing. And she leaves real quick. She's like, oh, I killed him, and it's this whole big thing. And but basically though, it's a whole thing about like she ends up burying her husband. You know, Allison Janney's character buries her husband's body, and then it becomes like this whole thing about like Awkwafina's character, you know, and Clifton Collins Jr.'s character like trying to get money from him, and then like there's this money that's missing, and it's one of those kind of things where like her decision of what she did causes this whole big thing, because Allison Janney is really loves TV and loves like true crime and things like that too, and she really wants to get on TV, and she's like sees this too, that her husband, this, you know, that her husband died, but then basically what she does is buries the body and pretends like he went missing, and so she's like going to her sister, played by Mila Kunis, who's on the you know, a newscaster, saying like, oh yeah, I can't believe he's gone missing, and that, and making it look like there was a struggle. So she basically goes and like, you know, fibs this whole thing to try and get attention and become a whole big news story and everything about her missing husband, who of course she already knows had died of a heart attack, and she buried in a hole and everything. So it's a whole big thing, and it's like people coming after her, people looking for people. It's one of, like I said, it's one of those movies where it's like an ensemble character piece movie where it's just things just keep getting worse and worse as it goes along, but really fun movie. I really fun time watching this one. Definitely would recommend this. The next one here, this is from Warner Brothers as well. This is one that I just want to let you guys know is available, and they sent out free copies as well to let you guys know this is available. And this is the 4K Ultra HD edition here of Godzilla. And I really like this movie, and I like the second film, and I really look forward to seeing the newest one, which is going to be on, I think it's going on HBO Max like soon. I don't know if it was like if it's already just going on there, or I know it was pretty soon that it was going on there, so I definitely cannot wait to see this one. This one has on here Bryan Cranston, Aaron Taylor Johnson was in here. Who else was in here? Elizabeth Olsen was in here. But it's basically, though, you know, about Aaron Taylor Johnson's father, who had, you know, basically, you know, that Godzilla had, you know, was in the factory where Godzilla was and everything. It's basically a whole, you know, it's the return of Godzilla and everything. It's Godzilla's wreaking havoc in the city and everything like that. But it's one of those things, too. It's like, is Godzilla bad or not? You know what I mean? Like, because it's like there's all these other monsters and stuff that come along as the series goes along, but it's a really fun film. I really like this one. 4K wise though, if you guys have 4K capacities though, it's definitely worth the upgrade for 4K. And like I say a lot when it comes to 4K, the big thing that you always notice with 4K is the HDR, which is the high dynamic range, which is basically the contrast levels, which means it has much, you know, deeper levels to the darks and the levels of the colors and everything. And also, I always feel like too with 4K, it's just a much more brighter, vibrant picture all around. But on here, though, on the Blu-ray disc, it has a bunch of different features. It has a bunch of different featurettes, making of featurettes on the film and everything on here. But really, really cool film if you guys have not watched that one. The next one here, this is from Lionsgate. It's a movie here called Dark Web Circada 3301. Here, and this is basically, though, about this guy who does like a lot of like he does sort of hacking, and he's kind of like a really good hacker. He can kind of like hack into anything, and like nothing is really like everything that's like would be to a lot of people like this huge challenge. He's like, oh, that's nothing. I can figure that out and everything. And he gets sent this one thing that he ends up opening up, and by opening it up, it ends up opening up this like cicada thing, which is like this bad program, and it basically becomes like, you know, people are coming after him for this, and because they, you know, he opened this thing up, and then he has to try and get to the bottom of what it is and how to stop what has happened, because by opening this thing, he's caused and like kind of unleashed this really bad thing, because he ended up, you know, being able to solve this to open it. So it's basically one of those things where he has to figure out what's going on, and it's one of those things where he doesn't know who he can trust, and it's all that kind of stuff. On here, though, this has a feature-wise has a commentary track on here with the writer and producer on this one, as well as the production designer. It has deleted scenes and a trailer gallery on this one. The next one here is one that I was really looking forward to watching. This is from Disney, and this is you know, the film here Soul, and this is the Blu-ray DVD digital copy of the film. And this is basically, though, about this guy named, you know, what's his name? His character's name was Joe. I forget what his last name was, but his character was Joe. Because I remember in the SNL skit, and I love that SNL skit they did like a couple weeks back with the Joe character. Because one won a plush toy of the Joe character. But basically, though, the movie is about the character, like I said, the character of Joe, and he ends up, he's like this jazz musician, and he also teaches music and everything. And his dream is to be, a big jazz star and be able to have these big performances and everything. And he finally has the opportunity to perform at this big club that he's got invited to, and he went to the audition in the daytime and got the job. And he's really excited about it, but like on the way leaving from the audition, he ends up falling into a pothole and he dies. And it's basically though about his soul going up to like the afterlife, and he's like going on the escalator of where you go after life, and he doesn't want to go, and he's like, oh, I don't know what's going on here. Where am I? I'm not supposed to be here. I have a performance. I got to go to a performance this evening. So he ends up running back down the escalator, and he falls through to another like dimension area up there where it's like the young, the souls that have never been born before and never been, gone to a body and everything. And then when he's there, he has to try and like figure out how he's going to get back. So he's kind of like up there looking around for people to try and figure out how he can get like a pass, to get back to Earth, to come back to life and get back into his body so he can go and do his performance and like, live his dreams and everything. So it's essentially like that. But then there's like, I don't want to spoil anything though, but it's one of those type of things where things go like really wrong, and like he ends up with lots of different types of problems and everything. But it was a really, really super visual film. Like there were some amazing visuals in this movie, especially like some of the stuff in the opening. And on here though, feature-wise, this has audio commentary on here. It has deleted scenes. It has on here Not Your Average Joe. See the creation of Pixar's historic first leading black character. It has on here Astro Taffy. Get an in-depth look at the film's artistic and technical innovations. It has some jazz greats feature out on here. Into the Zone, the music and sound of soul here, but a really, really fun movie. If you guys have not seen this one though, this is definitely one I would recommend you guys check out. And the next one I got here is from Universal, and this is the 4K Ultra HD edition here, which includes the 4K, the Blu-ray, and the digital copy of the film News of the World, which stars Tom Hanks. This is a really cool movie. This is basically though about Tom Hanks' character, and this is set 5 years after the Civil War, and basically what he does though is he goes around to town and gets gathers up a group of people and reads the news. So he has like newspaper articles and stuff like that, and so he goes and reads to people in these towns that can't read. So he goes and reads like all these different stories and stuff that happen in far away other towns, other states, all that kind of stuff. So he's basically bringing the news to them, and the people that would never be able to to get it otherwise because they can't read. So it's an interesting thing that he does. But basically though, when he's going through the town that he was at, he's like leaving the town and everything, and he comes across this wagon train that was turned upside down, and you can tell something had happened there. And he finds this kid that's out there all by herself and everything like that, and he finds that she has this document. Then he comes and he starts reading the document and finds out though that when this girl, like 6 years before, when she was really, really little, her family was killed by Native Americans, and the girl was taken by them, and she was raised by them out there. And Tom Hanks his character finds out though that she has an aunt and an uncle that are alive, and he is basically finds out about this and basically goes to the authorities in the town and says, oh, I found this girl out there. And and what ends up happening though is he ends up deciding to take her back to the aunt and uncle and figure out what he's going to do. So it's kind of like the whole expedition that he's going through, and then like all the kind of problems and stuff like that go along the way, along the way on the journey and everything. And you find out more about Tom Hanks's character and like kind of his past and that kind of stuff. But this is a really, really well done character piece. 4K wise too, this one looks great here on 4K. I always say too with 4K, the big thing is the HDR, which is the contrast levels. What comes with the high dynamic range, which is the contrast levels. So when Western films too, I always feel like look really, really good in 4K because of the way it's shot, and like in all like the dusty out there and everyone's all dirty and stuff like that. And I don't know, I feel like it really benefits in 4K. On here though, feature wise, this has deleted scenes on here, as well as some featurettes on this one here, as well as a commentary track on here with the writer and director. And the next one here from Universal as well. This is the movie here called Songbird, and this one was actually shot during the whole pandemic. So it was actually shot like I don't know exactly when they started it, but I know it was like right in the early stages of it. So it was like through all the stuff, but basically this was the movie is basically about kind of in a sense of almost like what's going on right now, but like a worse form of it and everything, because basically it's like you know what it does though, the sickness and everything, is it messes with people's brains and everything. And what's going on though is the one character in here, he's basically you know, goes around and he has an immunity, so he doesn't get sick and everything like that. So everyone else is like stuck in their house, can't go out. They have all these type of things where they have like a black light thing that kind of you know, kills the germs and stuff like that. And basically though, CJ Appa's character, he goes around, he's like you know, drives and picks up items and, you know, deliveries and things like that. And at the same time though, his girlfriend though, of course she doesn't have the immunity, so she's locked in her apartment. He can't go in to see her because he's around all this stuff, he's out in the world. So basically it's like this whole thing, and people, if they get sick, they get sent to these camps and stuff like that. What ends up happening though is in the apartment building where his girlfriend lives, there ends up being this sickness that gets in there. The sickness gets there, and then basically what ends up happening is he has to figure out how he's going to get her out of there, because she's going to get sent to a quarantine camp and all this kind of stuff. So it's an intense movie. Like I said, it was interesting too because it was shot now during all this stuff with the restrictions and everything. On here though, it has deleted scenes with a director commentary, as well as the story of Songbird featurette on this one. And the next one I got here is from Sony, and this is the 4K Ultra HD edition here of Monster Hunter, which stars Mila Jovovich. This is one, though, I was really looking forward to watching, because, you know, it's directed by Paul W.S. Anderson, who did the Resident Evil films and Event Horizon, so I always like his movies, so I was definitely interested in watching this one, and I always love Mila Jovovich, and it's basically, though, about, like, it's like she's like with the group of these like soldiers, and they get like transported into this like some kind of like a storm, like an electrical storm happens, and they end up getting like fall through like this hole in the ground and get transported to like another dimension. And it's basically like this weird dimension with these gigantic monsters and everything. Of course, so her and the team all kind of walk through the desert, and they're like, where is this? What is going on here? How do we get here? And they just notice that something is off. So then when they're out there though, there's like they see somebody like on the top of the rocks like trying to warn them, and like he fires like this kind of dust stuff at them, and of course he's trying to warn them that there's these monsters out there. And it's basically though about Mila Jovovich's character trying to figure out though how she's going to survive on here, and like how to survive against these, you know, gigantic monsters that are on there, and how to like take them down and everything. I honestly really like this movie, you know what I mean? Like it was a very fun movie, and like if you like Resident Evil and you like Paul W.S. Anderson's other films, it definitely has a vibe similar to the Resident Evil films, like to the later Resident Evil films. It has that kind of feel to it and everything. You know, it's like real big, you know, digital scenes and stuff like that of these creatures and stuff, but the creatures were really well done. I thought they did a really good job on the look of them and everything. And, you know, 4K wise though, this movie looks great. Like this is an example too, I would say, of like a really good 4K like demo to show like the capacities of 4K, especially like on the look of the monsters and everything on here. But like I said, 4K wise though, this looks great here. On here though, feature wise, this has some featurettes on here. The Monster Hunters cast and characters, monster arsenal, the weaponry of the film for the players from game to screen, and deleted scenes. And yeah, this one was based on a game which I never knew about this game before. This is one I did not know about. The next one here is from Sony as well, and this is a really cool movie. I've always loved this movie, and this is a cool Steelbook release, and this is also a 4K release, and this is the Gattaca Steelbook here of the film. And this is a movie that I always really like. This is a movie too, I have watched this movie throughout the years so many times, and I always like these movies that deal with like futuristic kind of like weird sort of controlling society type of things. There's another movie that came out, you know, a couple years back that had a similar vibe to this movie called Equals, which with Kristen Stewart, and it kind of had a similar vibe to this one. But you know, definitely this movie definitely inspired Equals. But you know, this one though was a great movie. It's basically though about Ethan Hawke's character, and his, like, you know, roommate is, you know, Jude Law's character. And it's basically though, it's kind of like they have society where like when you're born with these specific type of genes, you have like, you know, you basically have all these different abilities and you know, things that you have, things that you can do in your life that you can't do if you don't have these specific type of genes. And Ethan Hawke's character does not have those, so he can't like work at this really good job, and he can't excel in life and get all kinds of money and everything because of his genes. He doesn't have the ability to do that. So he kind of tries to figure out the idea of how to fake that he has these genes. And he's like doing this thing on his fingerprint and kind of trying to reinvent and change himself. It's a really, really interesting movie. Really one, if you guys have never seen it, it's hard to explain, but it's an absolute must-watch. It has on here, though, feature-wise, Welcome to Gattaca featurette, We Do Not Alter documentary, original featurette, deleted scenes, and substance test outtake on here as well. And here's the look, though, inside here as well. And here's the look, though, at the back. As well. But like I said, one of those movies that if you guys have never watched it, you guys have got to watch this movie. The next one here is from let me just move this. The next one here is from Paramount, and this is a really cool set here. This is a 10 Best Pictures collection. So this is here. This has the Blu-ray and the digital copies, and this is called the 10 Best Pictures, the Essential Collection here. Like I said, this is from Paramount, and this has in here 10 different films. It has Titanic, Forrest Gump, No Country for Old Men, Terms of Endearment, The Godfather, Gladiator, The English Patient, American Beauty, Wings, and My Fair Lady. So all those ones are included in here, and probably, though, out of all these films, my favorite of all of them, I would say, honestly, is probably American Beauty. That's the one that I've watched the most. I really like that movie a lot. And I always remember that movie, too. Back when that came out, and it had, like, the Academy Award and everything, they were talking about how there was all these different deleted scenes, and they never came out. And I remember, like, I think it was Alan Ball was like, oh, I don't want to ever release those deleted scenes. And I always wondered what they were, and they sounded really interesting because they had all these different things. And I remember hearing about some alternate stuff, and we never have seen those. And I always wondered about them. But on here too, then I would probably say Titanic, and then No Country for Old Men, which I really love that movie. That's a great film, but it's a really, really great set here. And also, though, inside, each film has its own disc. So Titanic, Forrest Gump, and then, No Country for Old Men, Terms of Endearment, and The Godfather. And then in here, it has Gladiator, and then The English Patient, American Beauty, Wings, and both discs from My Fair Lady, because the other discs are like the special features and stuff like that. But this is a really, really cool set here. Really great movies together, and also cool to have digital copies of all of them as well. And the other two here that are from Paramount as well, these are ones that I want to let you guys know were available. And the first one here, this is from the Paramount Presents line, which I really love this line here. And on the side, too, of every Paramount Presents, they're numbered on here. So this is number 16. I'll show you guys, though, a look inside here, and this one too, it's in the cool clear case inside, and also inside too they always have like a quote or something about the movie. And this one here is with Leonard Maltin, and it says, "The old-fashioned big top circus is now an artifact of history, so this film preserves it for all time." So that's what, like I said, I really love the way these are designed and everything. And also too, on the slipcover they open up, and then it has the original poster artwork in here as well. So really cool design on these ones. And this one has on here, though, feature-wise, it has filmmaker focus, Leonard Maltin on The Greatest Show on Earth. And I always loved Leonard Maltin as like a critic. I remember too, and I've talked about this in the past, Leonard Maltin's book was like the first book I ever had when I would look up like movies and like people who were in films. It was before I was going on IMDb and stuff like that, before like looking things up on the internet. I had this like thick book of his films, that he wrote like listing all the films and descriptions of them and everything. So I used to look at that all the time. And the other one here to let you guys know that was available from Paramount, and this is the 4K Ultra HD edition here of Cecil B. DeMille's The 10 Commandments here on 4K for the first time. This has the 4K, the Blu-ray, and the digital copy. And this one on here, though, this is a 3-disc set. So disc 1 has the 4K as well as a special feature, and it has on here for the feature, it has a commentary by Catherine Orson, author of Written in Stone, The Making of Cecil B. DeMille's epic The 10 Commandments. And then disc 2 has the part 1 of the film as well as special feature, and has a commentary track with Catherine Orson. And then on disc 2 it has the other half of the film, and it has the commentary track as well as a newsreel, The 10 Commandments premiere in New York, theatrical trailers, 1956 making of, on here, and then the 1966 trailer and the 1989 re-release trailers on here as well. And here's a look, though, inside here as well, so the 4K and then the Blu-ray discs in here. So like I said, just want to let you guys know that these ones were also available from Paramount as well. Now the next ones here, these ones are all from moviezing.com, and I have a link below where you guys can order these ones for the best price. And this is a movie, though, that I always liked, and this is one here from Sony as well. This has Winona Ryder in here, Angelina Jolie. It has in here Jeffrey Tambor, Elizabeth Moss, Jared Leto, you know, Claire Duvall, Brittany Murphy. So a really, really great cast in here. Whoopi Goldberg. And it's a movie here called Girl Interrupted. And it's basically, though, about Winona Ryder's character going to a mental hospital. And it's kind of like the whole go-ons of her being there and really wanting to get out of this place, and the people that are there with her. And, of course, one of the patients is Angelina Jolie, and Brittany Murphy is in here, one of the patients. I really like this movie. This is one of those ones, it was really cool to watch this one again. I had not seen this movie in such a long time. But this is one of those ones that, like, really, really great performances all around. And I always like these kind of movies that are all, like, self-contained in one place about people dealing with their problems and stuff like that. And this is a really, really good one here. And this one has on the feature-wise, has a director's commentary on here, deleted scenes with commentary, HBO's first look, the making of Girl Interrupted, as well as a theatrical trailer on this one. The next one, too, is also from MovieZing.com and also from Sony. This is one here with stars Hilary Swank and Helen Bonham Carter, here called 55 Steps. And this is basically, though, about Helen Bonham Carter, who's, like, in a mental hospital as well. Both the movies were in mental hospitals. And she's in there, you know, and she kind of went on her own reasons for going there. And she ended up, like, really mistreated terribly in there by the people that were in there, were really mistreating her and being really terrible to her, and, like, you know, basically, like, not listening, and if she needed something the night, they weren't, like, they basically had vanished and everything. So she ends up getting a lawyer, and it's, you know, Hilary Swank comes in to be her lawyer and basically is trying to help her and trying to figure out how to get her out of here and what she's going to do. And it's basically about them having this friendship and everything. But it is a really, really, you know, well acted character piece movie here. Like I said, this one here is called 55 Steps. And the next one I got here is from MovieZing.com, and it's also from the Warner Archive. It's a movie here called The Bermuda Depths. This is a cool, like, TV film from 1978. And it has on here, though, the original television broadcast version as well as the international version, and that version is in widescreen on here. And this movie, though, it's basically about, like, this kid who's always having these visions of, like, the Bermuda Triangle and everything. And it's kind of like, you know, and eventually, like, it's like him going there on an expedition to, like, explore it and see it, like, see what's really there. And of course, there ends up being these weird sort of like creature things that are out there in the Bermuda Triangle. And they're really like crazy. And it's a really fun movie. I really love these kind of movies. And like, I don't know if I'm the only person too. I don't know why. But every time I think of the Bermuda Triangle, the first thing I think of is in the Addams Family movie. When, you know, when Fester's like, I have a lot of things cooking at the Bermuda Triangle. And I always think of that. Like, every time I think of the Bermuda Triangle, I think, like, there's all sorts of, like, weird go-ons at the Bermuda Triangle. You know, like, people leave their ovens on. I don't know, I just think of Addams Family every time I think of that. Anything to do with the Bermuda Triangle. And I always feel like, you know, when I'm on a plane too, I'm always like, man, I don't want to get lost in the Bermuda Triangle and, like, be trapped there with all sorts of weird go-ons out there. Because you know, no one knows what's going on out there. So it's like a real mysterious thing. Because, like, you know, if you guys don't know about that, it's like planes always go over there and go missing and all sorts of things. Or they say that. So there's all kinds of legends behind it. So this is basically about that and about, like, these actual creatures that are out there and everything. On here, though, it also has a feature-wise a new commentary track on here with Amanda Reyes, author and film historian, as well as Lance Vaughn, co-founder of Kinder Trauma, on here as well. And also looks really good here. Picture quality is great on this one. And the next one here is from MovieZing.com as well. This is also from, I think it's from, I'll put a link for the company on here. I think it's called Giant Interactive, and this is a movie here called Rock Camp. It's a documentary, and it's interesting because, like, you know, The Simpsons did an episode, and they even talk about that on here, about people who would go to a rock camp to basically, like, perform and play songs and stuff with, like, rock stars and stuff, like people from Kiss and people like Gene Simmons and Alice Cooper and stuff like that. And this is basically a documentary talking all about the rock camp that people go to and kind of how it started, and then about the people that are involved. So it's like on here it has like Judas Priest, Joe Perry, Sammy Hagar, Roger Daltrey, Paul Stanley, Nancy Wilson, as I was saying, Gene Simmons, Alice Cooper. And basically, though, it's following around people that are going to be going to rock camp, and it's kind of like you're finding out more about them and kind of like what rock camp is like and stuff like that. It was an interesting documentary, especially like to actually see real footage of it and hear more about it. Because like I only ever knew about it really from, you know, The Simpsons. But this one has on here, though, feature-wise, it has unseen interviews with Alice Cooper, Roger Daltrey, Sammy Hagar, Judas Priest, Joe Perry, Gene Simmons, Nancy Wilson, and more. feature-wise on this one. The next one here, this one is from MovieZing.com as well, and it's also from High Octane Pictures. It's a movie here called The Cage, and this is basically though about, it's like like a post-apocalyptic kind of end of the world type movie, where it's like these aliens and this alien ship have come to Earth, and basically though it's like these two people that are left on Earth, and there's like, you know, the alien ship out there, you see that, but you don't see anybody else, and it's kind of like, what has happened to people? Where is everybody? But then all of a sudden, it's kind of like The Last One on Earth when like another person shows up, and then it kind of causes all these type of turmoil and issues and stuff like that. So it's an interesting movie here. Like I said, this one here is called The Cage. And the next one here, this is from MovieZing.com as well, and it's also from Dark Side Releasing. And this one here is a movie here called Just a Child. This is an Italian horror film, and this is a pretty cool movie. It's very, very creepy. This one was basically, though, about, you know, to make sure I don't mess it all up. The one woman's husband had passed away, and she ended up getting remarried to this guy, and she has her son and everything, and basically they end up going back to their old house. And then when they get back there, though, there's like weird sort of things start to happen. And the father who had died, it's like the son is starting to, like, you know, basically see the father and hearing things. And it's like this whole thing where it's like you don't know what's going on here. And if the new husband is bad, and there could be something bad about him, or there could be some kind of a warning and stuff like that. It's a slow burn, but really, really creepy movie. But it has on here, though, behind the shenanigans, behind the scenes, bloopers, as well as a Dark Side Releasing trailer reel on this one. And then the last one from MovieZing.com is a movie here, and this is also from Tempe Digital, called Robot Ninja. And this is a really cool movie. This is directed by, you know, J.R. Bookwater, and this is a really, really fun film. You know, he also did The Dead Next Door, and then, you know, Ozone he directed as well. And it's basically, though, about, like, you know, this guy getting revenge because he saw something terrible happen to these two people, and he's kind of going basically as this crazed ninja, and it's a vigilante movie about him going after the people and going after bad people that are causing bad crime and stuff like that. And it's kind of, you know, it's from 1989, so it's kind of like a RoboCop-ish kind of thing, but mixed with like a ninja movie, because they were doing a lot of like ninja movies in the late 80s, like ninja revenge films and those type of things, and it's in that style and everything, kind of like the Cannon films a little bit, but it's a really, really fun, crazy movie. It has on here, though, 2K restored, featuring a 4:3 original aspect ratio. Has on here a commentary track on here by J.R. Bookwater. On here as a commentary track, another commentary track by J.R. Bookwater. As well as Rebuilding the Robot, J.R. Bookwater on the 2K restoration. On here, artwork and promotional gallery, still behind the scenes gallery, Tempe Digital trailers, Robot Ninja Unmasked featurette on here, 48-minute featurette on the film as well. But like I said, really fun movie. The next one here is from from Screen Media, and this is a really fun movie. It's kind of like Jurassic World a little bit. It has that kind of vibe, which I liked. It was like, you know, basically, but it's a movie here called Skyfire, and it's basically, though, about this guy who had built, like, on this island where there was a volcano, this kind of like, you know, adventure theme park kind of place where people go out there and do all kinds of crazy things and, like, you know, jumping things and just kind of like crazy, like, middle of nowhere, you know, crazy experiences and stuff like that. And it's like, oh yeah, it's on this volcano is right there and everything. But of course, you know, while all the people that are out there, the volcano ends up starting to rumble, because it's like, you know, it's starting to go off, and it's like basically it's erupting. So it's basically all the people that are there on this, you know, island resort area, like a theme park, like I said, kind of like Jurassic World kind of park. It's kind of like that. And basically they're all there trying to figure out how they're going to survive, how they're going to get away. And it's like one of those really intense kind of like disaster films. It was a really, really fun movie. Like I said, this one here is called Skyfire. The next one here is from Groucho's Ventures, and it's a movie here called One and the Same. Now, this one was a little bit hard to explain, but it's kind of like about going to this facility where it's kind of like having, you know, finding out about your past lives and, you know, like different kind of things that, you know, you lived in the past, and like kind of like, but it also deals like, it's hard to explain, like it's like dealing with like the human's your energy and stuff like that, and how your energy lives on from life to life and stuff like that. Like I said, this is very, very hard to explain, but they're all kind of like being studied and stuff like that. You know, these type of people, and then, you know, but it's basically like they have to, the study is like tracking people's energy. Like I said, it's hard to explain. This one is really hard for me to explain, but it's an interesting, movie here. But like I said, just definitely a very hard one to explain. And the next ones I got here are both German releases, and they're from Turbine Media. Now, with the first one though, keep in mind the 4K. All 4K discs are region free, so you can watch them in any 4K player. US player, you don't need. They don't have any region coding. But the Blu-ray in here though is region B locked, so you guys would have to have a region free all region player to play the Blu-ray. So just keep that in mind. The 4K works fine though, but the Blu-ray though is region locked. And this is the Steelbook release, the 4K Ultra HD Steelbook here of Leatherface. And this is the Leatherface, prequel film, which is, following around the young Leatherface. And I know some people didn't love this movie, but I really did. I thought it was like really intense, like it was super gory and everything. And I thought it was kind of cool to see like this young version of Leatherface and stuff like that. And then like them kind of going on this like murder spree and everything like that. I liked it. I really did on here. I'll show you guys though a look inside here. And 4K wise though, this one looks great here on 4K. But it has, like I said, it has the Blu-ray disc. So keep in mind the Blu-ray though, like I said, that one is region locked. But the 4K though, you can watch that one in any US player, no problem. And also in here too, it has an ad for future releases, and which is really cool on here. It shows the Frighteners coming out to 4K, that they're going to be releasing Frighteners on 4K, American Werewolf in Paris on 4K, as well as Hellraiser on 4K. So that, I'm really looking forward to Hellraiser on 4K. Like, I absolutely love that movie, and it has on here, it shows like the ones that went out of print on here too. And here's some of the other ones that are available currently, like Crash, the Princess Bride 4K, and then Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original 4K as well. And the other one here is from Turbine Media, and this one here is region free. So the Blu-ray disc will play in the US players as well though. This is American Werewolf in London, John Landis' film, American Werewolf in London, and it's the 4K Ultra HD edition here, so here's a look at the slipcover. And this is a movie, too, that I have always loved this movie about the guys that were going backpacking, and one of them gets attacked by a werewolf, and it's, of course, what happens to him, and the changes he's going through in London and everything, and he starts, like, going, and, like, the transformation scenes are amazing. And this is the movie, too. I'm sure I'm one of the few people, but every time I think of this movie, I always think of the horror makeup show at Universal Studios Florida, because for years they would always show the head from this movie and talk about the transformation scene. I don't know if they still do that anymore or not. That exact, when they talk about the transformation of this movie. But this is a great movie, and I'll show you guys though a look here inside as well. And here's a look. It has the ad in here too for the upcoming ones. And here's the 4K disc, and then both of the Blu-ray discs in here as well. And the last one here is one, and I'll have a link where you guys can order this one. And this is the sequel here. This is called, I think this is the third film here, the Fear Footage 3 AM. And it even has a card in here too. Welcome to Historic Dark Bluff welcomes you, like a postcard for the movie as well. And this is basically though, it's kind of cool that it's done because it's like a guy who was a fan of the first two Fear Footage movies. He ended up like going and wanting to visit the town where it was filmed, and he like found like tracked down where it was, and it was like hard to find it on the map, and it was like a lot of mystery to the whole thing. And he basically wants to go and do a vlog filming it, going out there, kind of seeing what the town is like, and seeing if there really was truth to what had happened in this town. Of course, he goes out there, and it's kind of like Children of the Corn, where it's like abandoned. Like he goes there, he's not seeing anybody, there's nobody in the houses and all that kind of stuff, and it's basically what happens from there. But and it's done, like I said, found footage style and everything. But a pretty cool movie. But this one though, if you want to find out more about it, just go to thefearfootage.com, and here's a look too if you want to see what the postcard says here and everything too. But anyway though, guys, that was all for the review portion of this video. Thanks again for watching and subscribing, and I'll see you guys later.